The majority of this film takes place around the Googleplex, a large campus of modern buildings, green spaces with tables and chairs, and wide pathways lined with tall grasses and patches of low-growing plants. Most interviews take place in a large studio in front of a white backdrop. The interviewer, LeBrecht, is an older white man using a power wheelchair. He reclines on his right side against the mid-height chair back. His thick, curly hair is gray and his goatee is nearly all white. His square glasses are cobalt blue. Jim interviews 4 people: Aubrie, Jalon, Parinita, and Shar. Aubrie is a Chinese-American woman with muscular dystrophy whose lips stay parted when she speaks. She has dark, wavy, center-parted hair that falls past her waist and wears rimless oval glasses. Aubrie rides a power wheelchair with a high back. Jalon Hall is an African-American deaf millennial who uses sign language as she speaks to the camera. Jalon's shoulder-length black locks are swept up and back over her right ear, a hearing aid visible. Parinita is an Indian-born woman in her late 30s with a bionic hand and forearm, the hand like a gray glove, and the arm a shiny black and gray checked carbon fiber. Her dark brown hair is in a pixie cut with a side part. Parinita is interviewed in the studio and also shown in her home and in a bustling shopping district in India. Shar is a disabled, neurospicy, masculine, off-center, genderqueer, mixed-race Indo-Chinese person with dark brown skin, silver and black hair, and dark brown eyes, wearing thick, geeky spectacles. Shar's hair is shaved close on the sides and worn longer on top, brushed to the left. Shar is interviewed at home. In the film, the Google logo is shown on screen as an animation. This version of the word Google is a mix of letters and accessibility symbols. The animation starts with a figure riding a small letter E like a sporty manual wheelchair, appearing on screen and rolling to the right. As it moves, it pulls the rest of the word out behind it. G, then the 2 O's, made of braille dots, like arrows pointing right. The ASL finger spelling sign for G. L, ending with the figure riding the small E like a wheelchair. In the green room, a makeup artist in COVID mask puts the finishing touches on Aubrie's makeup. Then, Aubrie rolls into the studio, past mounted lights, and onto a gleaming white backdrop. Her bold red lip matches her red dress.
I love when I can have conversation and connection with disabled people who already understand what I usually have to explain.
Parinita gets hair and makeup done. A tattoo of a dog's face peeks out from the left sleeve of her black t-shirt on the side with her prosthetic. A scar shows on her right upper arm. Then Jalon at the white backdrop in a long-sleeve black t-shirt with the rainbow-lettered logo for Google across the front. Next, Shar in a maroon sweater over a white pinstripe collared shirt takes a seat at the dining room table, looking directly at the camera as if on a video call. A Google holiday card is on display behind Shar on the mantle next to an array of framed photos.
Hi, I'm Parinita.
Hi, my name is Jalon.
My name is Shar Bacchus. For the moment, it's on.
In her power chair, by a patch of green lawn on the Google campus, Aubrie faces the camera.
I am Aubrie. I call myself disabled and proud.
The Google logo, now a mix of letters and accessibility symbols. Title, Our Truths, Our Power. Jim LeBrecht, Oscar-nominated film director on set, 3-ring binder in hand, addressing Aubrie.
We talk about it differently among ourselves, don't we?
I'll invite you to come here.
He rolls onto the backdrop.
You want?
Great, I didn't rip up the set with my wheelchair.
It's not too late. We can still do it.
I don't know why I'm holding this list of questions here, so I'm just gonna...
Tosses the binder. Jalon.
For me, I always identify myself, so I am Black first, then I am deaf. When it comes to communication, it's really been very tough here in Mexico because they can hear me talk. Oh, you talk too good for a deaf person.
It's either like you're not okay because you have a disability or you're in the Paralympics. There are regular people in between.
Shar.
I remember people saying to me, if you're too sick to go to school, you're too sick to play. I wish that I hadn't been taught that. I think that I carry that around.
Shar nods and smiles. Photo of Shar as a young adult, wearing a wide-brimmed black hat, black shirt, and large glasses with a cheery grin. Jim next to Aubrie on set.
For some reason, the idea that a disabled person is a person is revolutionary.
Gives her a huge nod.
I'm saying sorry too much. What am I sorry about? I'm only asking for what I deserve.
On a plush gray sofa with overstuffed pillows, Parinita rests a hardback book on her lap. Her prosthetic thumb holds it open while she turns the page with her right hand.
In India, the stigma is still quite a bit. My mom finds it very difficult. Still, she prefers that I wear my prosthesis when there are people outside the family or when I'm visiting. I don't care. I'm equally comfortable with or without my prosthesis now.
On the bustling Google campus, employees come and go solo or in small groups on the pavement. The Google brand logo, made of accessibility icons, adorns the windows of a skyway, an enclosed elevated pedestrian bridge. In a COVID mask, Aubrie rides down the pavement between a tree-lined parking lot and a row of brightly colored rideshare bikes.
I think of myself as an artist because I want to be, and an activist because I have to be.
It's traumatic work being an activist.
Yeah.
It's like you find yourself having to prove over and over again that you're important.
Yeah.
Or trying to convince somebody that you matter.
I feel like in India, there has to be awareness of all kinds of disabilities.
Change is slow and it's frustrating, and sometimes I feel like I'm chipping away at a boulder with a spoon. And when that happens, there's a heavy bag in the backyard. I just put on some gloves and beat the heck out of it.
Jalon stands outside with a soft smile. A tiny white dog in a black harness sits tucked up against her, resting in the palm of her hand. Autumn gold and bronze leaves are on the trees and scattered on the ground beneath them. Back on set and later walking the dog over the leaf-colored pathway, its fluffy tail held high.
What really keeps me going in this company, really knowing that there's no other in the company like myself that's black and brown. This is a very heavy burden that I have to carry every day, but I can get through it.
As you said, stop making us prove ourselves. Stop making us prove our value. The point is not that we can help you. The point is that we deserve to live how we want to live.
There are many black staff who are out there that is not being acknowledged. How can I make sure that they are heard? I remember Aubrie contacted me. She really acknowledged me. She really assured me that I am worth it and I shouldn't be marginalized. She continued to help me with that, and that she is constantly fighting every day.
And you're coming across people who don't get it or don't appreciate the nuance or don't want to hear the nuance of all of this.
Yeah.
But when things do change and you finally crack something open,
His eyes roll, shoulders shrug.
it almost feels like it's your legacy.
Parinita strolls down a street and stops at a vendor displaying a cluster of large, dark orange king coconuts.
I crack a lot of jokes about my disability. I actually asked a close friend that, hey, when I go for a manicure, can I ask for a 50% discount?
She holds a straight face.
And she cracked up.
For some reason, some people think I'm funny, and they'll say, you can be a stand-up comedian. And I say, well, I can be a sit-down comedian.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I used to call myself the gimp, a phrase that maybe I have reclaimed, but nobody else has.
It's an example of the kind of conversation that you and I can have.
Jim nods knowingly to Aubrie. Now, a trio of mallard ducks traversing a glassy campus creek, their jade-colored heads matching the tall grasses at the water's edge. Aubrie rides down a long ramp, past stairs, and continues down the pathway. The setting sun casts a coppery light.
What dream do you have, Jim?
I think my dream is to feel more comforted in this world. There's just a great deal of anxiety towards the way that I feel in the world and how the world treats me.
Aubrie nods. Then Parinita stands on a rooftop deck, holding her smartphone with her prosthetic hand and thumb typing with the other. Pedestrians and people on scooters pass a row of small shops. Children and adults walk, many with various head or face coverings.
There's one dream that I have. I want to make disabled people in India more employable. There is so much potential out there to do some amazing stuff that probably has never been done.
Some may go through harder moments, but never giving up on yourself. Never give up on yourself.
I've had the experience at Google of changing a company by participating in hiring and changing the lives of people who work at Google. I would love to have that experience at the level of a nation.
Photos. 10 people of different genders and ethnicities smile around a restaurant table set with a candle and white linens. Shar gives a soft smile in a selfie outdoors wearing sunglasses. Behind Shar, people gather to decorate a tree. Aubrie rolls across campus, her handbag on her lap. Inside, she checks her smartphone as she rides through an office hallway. One wall is rough hewn stone. Tropical plants cascade out of pockets in the stonework.
I would like to take survival for granted. I wish I didn't have to worry about how I'm going to use the bathroom. And one day I would love to spend my energy pursuing activism in a different way and make art all day.
Yeah. May we get our dreams.
Yeah, maybe.
Fist bump with flourish. Logo for Google Disability Alliance.
I want my hair and makeup done like this every day.
Yes. Yeah.
Fade to black. Audio description by Social Audio Description Collective. Written by Cheryl Green. Narrated by Thomas Reed.